still within Arab cuisine, there are so many differences, right? Like you cannot possibly compare Moroccan food to Syrian very closely. So, I mean, the issue with it's not so much about the generalization as it is about the terms that are used, right? So Middle East, the issue with it that I had was it's a very Western centric term, right? We are the Middle East relative to a British Empire that sees India as farthest east and sees us in the middle. So it's vague, it's Eurocentric, and it doesn't actually describe anything whatsoever. Calling it Arab cuisine, on the other hand, is fine. It's different because what connects the 22 countries from the Atlantic Ocean to the Arabian Gulf is the fact that we had such a long history of centuries of acculturation under Arab and Islamic rule. So from that perspective, I think it's okay to call it Arabic food. Still, within Arab cuisine, there are so many differences, right? Like you cannot possibly compare Moroccan food to Syrian very closely. But the deeper you dig, you also start to realize even within Syrian cuisine, within Palestinian, within Moroccan, even nationalizing it is still very broad because food at the end of the day is regional, right? So even within, and I wrote a piece about this once, which is like even in a small place like Palestine, you share a lot of dishes, you share a lot of things, but the cuisine is still largely regional. If you go to the north of the country, you will notice that not only the dishes, but the customs and the traditions around eating them are very different to Gaza, which is much further south and borders Egypt, versus the West Bank, which is in the middle and borders Jordan. So it's influenced by climate, it's influenced by socioeconomic status, city versus village. This is where the rice burghul thing comes in, bordering countries and whatnot. So it is useful sometimes to have an overarching umbrella, but you also realize that you lose a lot in the process. So I think it's fine when you're first introducing people to something to say, yeah, this is Arab cuisine, this is Chinese, this is Indian. But once you become more familiar with it, you realize there's so much hiding underneath that.